Hello lefties! Today we are going to learn how to make a sock. But first let's talk about the parts of a sock. So here's one that I made, and you can see the second sock. I suffer second sock syndrome a lot. That means the first sock gets made, but the second one not so much. I've been working on this pair for about 5 years. So here are the parts. We have the cuff with the cast on up here. This is a top down sock construction, meaning I started at the cuff and I finished at the toe. Then there's the leg. Here's the heel. This part here is the gusset, the foot, and then the toe. All right, so you will need, I'll just show you this. So here's the sock that I'm currently working on, so you can see I haven't gotten very far on this one. So I have my knitting needles, I have a stitch marker, and I have my yarn. I am going to be making a mini sock. You can follow along with your full-size sock, but I'm not going to start a big full-size sock because one, I don't need it, and two, you can see I never finish them. So when I cast on, I do cast on over 2 needles. If you need help with the cast on, please go see my video on how to do that. So I'm going to take a length here and do the long tail cast on. And I will probably speed this up so you don't have to watch me do this part. Here I am with all my stitches casted on. Now I've got to take the stitches from the 2 double points and put it in the round. So I will take one of these out, and I have 32 stitches on my needle, so that means I need 8 stitches per needle since I'll be knitting on 4 needles. So I'll just take 1, whoops, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. I'll grab my next needle. I can come down a little bit more for you. 1, 2, and 1 more. Alright, so there is all of my stitches divvied up between the different needles. This is the only tricky part, is being able to put this in the round without twisting the work. So what I like to do is I like to make sure the bumps are all facing to the inside. That way I know one of my needles isn't twisted. So I work my way around. Double checking, make sure nothing is twisted. I'll work those stitches to the edge of the needle here. Alright, so what I like to do to make sure I don't get that gap between the last and first stitch is I switch my stitches. I take this stitch and I put it on this needle, and then I take this stitch and put it on this needle. So that one goes over, then this one comes up and over, back. is that bad when that didn't get on the needle the right way the first time. Try not to drop that first one off. There. And it just creates a little X in here that just helps keep that closed. The next thing I'm going to do is put in my stitch marker so I know where the beginning of the round is. And away we go. The first stitch, because I have the stitch marker here, I will knit onto this needle, so I will not be picking up my fifth needle just yet. So I'll knit, I'll do a knit one, purl one. So the first 4 stitches I knit with both the tail and the working yarn. That way I've worked it in already and I don't have to do that later. So now I've done the first 4 stitches with the tail. Now I'll get rid of the tail and just work with the working yarn and continue on for as many rounds as it needs. I'll show you what I do when I get to here. It's just like what you would always do. So let's see that we're on a knit. So now my empty needle becomes my working needle. I just move the work around. I ended on a purl stitch here, so that means this is a knit stitch. Uh-oh. This is not the best. If this happens, your best bet really is to take it out and start over. I don't want to do that today because this is a sock I don't care about, so I'm just going to pick them up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I have all my stitches, so we're good. Oops. And this is what happens to me frequently. I forget to add a needle in, so when I come back here, I'll add the extra needle in. You can knit on 4 needles instead of 5. I just prefer 4. So now I'll knit just beyond the stitch marker, and then I'll pick up the other one. This last one right before the stitch marker can be a little tricky to get into. As you recall, it's the one that was brought over from the other needle, so it's a little tighter. Alright, row 1 is done. Slip the slip marker. Because the slip marker's there, I can't end right here. I'll lose the stitch marker. So I will go actually 2 stitches more because I like to start my new needle on a knit stitch. Oh, something's wrong. Oh, I know what I did. I forgot that I forgot that that was doubled. So there you go. So I tried splitting these two, but this is actually one stitch because recall I knitted the first 4 stitches with both the tail and the working yarn. So I just tried to split that and I can't do that. So those go together. The next two go together. All right. So I have those stitches. Pick up my new needle. The more you work and the longer this gets, the easier it'll be because the sock will start to hold its shape and the part that you've already worked will come out, so it won't be quite as messy as it looks right now. The first 2 rows are almost done. I will complete the cuff off camera and we'll come back here to work on the leg. The cuff is done. I did 5 rows, and you can see how the needles lay a lot nicer now. It's easier to see, it's easier to hold. For the leg, again, that's just the part from the cuff down to the heel. In this instance, I am only going to knit, so it'll be pretty easy. I'll show you one round of that, and then I'll do the rest off screen. So ignoring that I had the pearls in there now, I'm just knitting across. I'll finish the rest off screen and be back for the heel. Here is the cuff and here is the leg. It is now time to start the heel flap, and we have a little bit of setup to do. The first thing we are going to do is count our stitches so that we have exactly half on the front and half on the back. So from here, I know I have 32 stitches, so I want 8 stitches on this side of the marker and 8 stitches on this side of the marker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's my 8 there. I am going to transfer those onto this needle. And then these 2 I'm going to transfer on this back needle. All I'm doing is taking the stitches that we are not going to use and putting them out of work on the back side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have 2 stitches to move onto this front needle. So the 16 stitches in the back here, we are not going to work at all. We're only going to be working on the 16 stitches in the front. Okay, so you can obviously, I can't start knitting right now, so I do need to put some of these stitches back on one of my needles. And I'm going to finish knitting to the end of this row. That is the first part of our setup. Now, turn your work, and we are again only working on these 16 stitches. Now we are going to have to purl on our way back. So slip 1, and then purl all the way back. All right, now we can officially start the heel flap. The heel flap consists of 2 rows. The first is a slip 1, knit 1, and the second row is the purl. So here's my slip 1, knit 1, slip 1, knit 1, slip 1, knit 1, slip 1, knit 1. I don't need my marker at the moment, so I will take that off. Slip 1, knit 1, slip, whoops, slip 1, knit 1, slip, knit, slip, and knit. Row 2, slip 1, purl back, so again, on this row, slip 1, knit 1, and then purl on the back side. I will do the rest of the heel flap off screen. You do this until the pattern, whatever length the pattern tells you to do. I personally find that for some reason I need more. This one, did I even do a slip 1, knit 1? I think I did. But I usually need a little bit longer than what the actual pattern says, so I tend to do about, I want to say 2.5 inches when I make my own socks. Let me, oh, I didn't do that one. Okay, so I'll be right back. My heel flap is done, so now it is time to turn the heel, and this is really the fun part of making the heel. I did put my stitch marker back in because your pattern may tell you to go 2 stitches past the stitch marker or past center, depending on what they want. So I'm going to go only one stitch past the center so that you have more chances to see the turn. So in this case, I'll slip the first one and knit to one stitch past the marker. Slip the marker and slip one. Now we are going to start to decrease, and it's going to look like a V. So that means I want the stitches on this side to be slanting off to the right. That means I am going to do a knit two together. So if you look, the stitch that I just made right here slants to the right. Then knit one more. So these are short rows. Leave those stitches unworked and turn. Slip one and purl. Oopsies, what did I do here? Try to get the rest of that up there. And purl to one stitch beyond the marker. There's the marker, purl one. Now I'm going to purl two together and purl one. Leave those stitches unworked and turn. Slip one and knit until you see the gap. So you'll see over here on this side, there's a little bit of that gap there where I turned for the short row. So we're going to knit to that point, or knit to one stitch before that point. So here's my gap. I want to close that gap, and I'm trying to use up these stitches over here. So I'll knit those two together, the one before the gap and the one after the gap. And knit one more. Turn. Same thing on the purl side. Knit until you see one stitch, until you get to the one stitch before the purl. My husband just came home from work, and you can hear the dog freaking out in the background. Slip one, purl across, here's that gap. I'm going to purl those two together. And purl one more. So you can start to see that the heel is forming. Slip one, knit to one stitch before the gap, and then knit these two stitches together. Knit one. Slip one, purl across. Here's my gap. Purl two together. Try that again. Purl two together and purl one. Alright, now we are going to start to pick up these stitches. The heel flap is done. Now it's time to come around and pick up all the stitches on the side, which if you look here, is this right down here. So we're going to pick up these stitches, and then we're going to be decreasing after that this little triangle area here. So I am going to slip and just knit across this row. And if you look here, we made all those slip stitches at the beginning of the row, and you can see, let's see if I can get this to focus. You can see all these V's. We are going to pick all of those up along the side. So here's my first open V. So make sure you have both parts of that V, yarn over and pull through. Like that. Make sure you kind of pull this, unroll this, and wants to roll around. So make sure you can grab that. Just do that all the way down the side. So this is called picking up stitches. We slipped, or we did a setup row, so I'm going to grab one more here to help close that gap. Maybe, maybe not. Then I'm going to take the bar in between, pick it up, put it on the needle, and then knit through the back stitch, or through the back loop. I don't like that. I still see a gap there. So maybe I won't do that. I wonder if I do it this way. Do it on this one. That's a little better. The instep stitches, you just knit across. These are not going to be part of the gusset as far as the decreases, but we are joining this sock back in the round now. Alright, instep is done. Now we have to pick up all the stitches on this side, and to mirror what I did on the other side, I grabbed a stitch here, I grabbed a leg from down here, and then I knitted through, oopsies, let's see if I can twist that a little bit better, there we go, knit through the back loop, and then start picking up all of these stitches along the side here. Oops, and I forgot to change needles, didn't I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So just going through and picking up all of these stitches that kind of look like a V. All right. So now all of the stitches are picked back up and we're ready to start the decreases. I think I am going to knit one row even, so I will stop the video here, do that, and then come back to show you the decreases. Here I am back at the beginning and starting our decrease row. So I am going to knit until I get to 3 stitches before the end of the needle, so right here. So our decrease, we want our decrease to slant to the left. If you look over here, let's see, which one am I on? On this one, yep. So we want, whoopsies, we want our slants to follow as we are going down the sock. So on this side, we are going to do a left-leaning decrease. So I slip 2, insert, come back around. And as you can see now, it's leaning to the left. Then knit 1. We do nothing on our instep stitches, we just knit across. Oopsies. On this side, we will knit 1, and again we want our decrease to go from the top of the sock down towards the toe. So now we can knit 2 together. And our first round of decrease is done. When we get back to the stitch marker, we'll just do 1 round knitting even. So that's what this pattern is for the gusset. It's 1 round of decreases, 1 round of just knitting. And I'll come back shortly to show you again how to do those decreases. I am almost out of yarn, so I'll show you how I add another skein. I take the new one with the tail to my left, paired up with the old one with the tail to the right, and I just knit with both yarns together. It's a little bit bulkier, but over time you won't even see that. So I did 4 stitches, I dropped the old yarn and continue on with the new one. Here I am back at the spot where I need to decrease again, and this needs to be a left leaning decrease. So I slip one as if to purl, slip another one as if to purl, put those 2 stitches back on my right hand needle, and then knit through the back loops. And you can see those nice decreases right there. Then knit one. Knit across the instep stitches. Here's where I added yarn. So I have 2, I'm knitting over 2. And a decrease on this side. Knit 1, knit 2 together. So you will keep alternating a row of decreases and a row of just a plain knit row until you get back to the original number of stitches that you casted on. So for me that was 32. I will see you back here when my gusset is done. Here's the completed gusset. I went ahead and knitted the foot portion of the sock because there's nothing to see, it's just knitting in the round, and because this is just a sock for an example, I only did probably 5-6 rounds of straight knit because again this is not going to be a usable sock, so I'm just doing it for modeling purposes. So now for the toe, it's just like we did the gusset as far as the decreases, except for we're going to decrease on both the back stitches and the front stitches. So here's my beginning of the round, and I'm at the point where I'm going to decrease. So I'm going to pull this sock out. Here's an example. So right now I'm right here. I'm going to come around, decrease on this side, decrease on this side, knit across, decrease, and decrease. So just as we did the other one at the gusset, we are going to do a left leaning decrease, and knit one. Then on this side, knit one. So this is your instep stitches, and now knit 2 together. And knit to the end of this needle, to the other end of the instep stitches. Batten down to the last 3, do our left leaning decrease, knit 1, knit 1, knit 2 together. So come back up here, and then you do 1 round of just knit, and then alternate a decrease row with a knit row. Your pattern will tell you to how many to knit down to. In this case, I'm going to do this until I have 12 stitches left on my needle, so that would be what, 3 stitches on each needle. So I'll see you in a few. I'm sorry, but your nose is in there. Here, show everybody what you look like. Yes, there you are. All right, the end is almost here. I am left now with the 12 stitches that I have left. I'm sorry. This is what I'm dealing with. Yes, you are adorably cute. All right, let me reset this. So you can drop your stitch marker now. You won't need that anymore. And just knit to the end of that first needle. All right, at this point, all we have left is to do the Kitchener stitch to sew the toe up. So I am going to cut myself a length of yarn here for sewing in the ends, or for doing the Kitchener. I do have this handy dandy, let's see if I can get that to, there you go. So if you want to screenshot that, save it for yourself, you can do that. So this is how we do the Kitchener stitch. And this nice little keychain that I have, it just stays in my sock bag, also has a needle in it, which is quite handy. So we'll need the needle. The last thing I'm going to do to set up is transfer all of these stitches onto one needle. So I have a front needle and a back needle. All right. Write it up. And I haven't done this in a while, so I do need to read the directions here. Okay, so on the first needle, we are going to go in the front needle. Get that. There you go, front needle, and we're going to purl, enter as if you're about to purl, and keep that stitch on the needle. Then we're going to go in the back and knit. Put the needle in as if you're going to knit, and also keep that one on. So that's kind of your setup to get this going. Now we're going to repeat. We're going to do front, knit, and then you can drop it off. So I went in through the front as if to knit. Now I'm staying in the front and I'm going to enter from the back. I'm going to purl and keep that one on. On the back, we're going to purl first, drop it off, and then knit. Okay, now we're right back up here. And the front, enter as if you're going to knit, drop off, enter as if to purl, keep it on. Purl, drop off, knit, keep on. So front knit, drop off, purl, keep on. Purl, drop, knit, keep on. Purl, drop, knit. knit, drop, and purl. Purl, drop off, knit, knit, and purl. Knit, and purl. And with that, oops, your sock is done, and you can see, you cannot tell that that was grafted together at all. And then what I do is I'll just shove this in here to make that little bump go away. I'll just push it to the back. So you can see how that's sticking out right there. Grab the right one here. And that just kind of pulls that bump in and makes it not so noticeable. When you're all done, just weave in your ends and you are good to go, and you have made yourself a sock. Let me know if you have any questions, and good luck. Bye.